Happy Friday, everyone. It's Friday, July 12th, 2024. Welcome to my weekly Friday YouTube Live here on my YouTube channel. It is so good to see so many of you here today. So today we are going to talk about my new release called Nichol's Needlework. It's for Spellbinders. It is my fourth release with Spellbinders. A lot of you maybe saw some of the components. A couple of these sets were in the Weekender box. It was a event that Spellbinders had here in May, and now the whole release is live. So super excited. There's some add-ons, and we're going to do some fall themed cards today. So good to see so many of you here. I did do a live in my Patreon on Wednesday, so I'm going to go over a lot of the same things that I talked about there. Completely different projects though, but I do want to kind of do an overview of the release live. I do have an edited video here on my channel that shows a lot of those new cards that I made in that, but we're just going to talk about all the things. If you have questions, let me know. I am super excited to answer them, and if you have any questions, like I said, ask here. If you have any questions about anything, just ask them in the chat and I will try to get them all answered. I'm really excited. Oh, love the set in the Weekender box. Wonderful. Let me see. Let me scroll back really quick and make sure I didn't miss anything when I got started. Laura says that Kathy Clement made a banner, a Christmas banner with the embroidery hoop collection, so the Nichol's Needlework collection, so I'm excited to check that out. I haven't seen it yet. It's been a crazy morning so far, really. So let me see. Hi Donna, hi Melissa and Erin and Susie. Barbara's here, Amy's here. So many, so good to see everybody. Let's see. Peg said, thought I better watch about the card stuff that's for stitchers. That's funny. So I want to talk a little bit about my, I guess, overview, I suppose, and my thought process behind this collection for Spellbinders. A lot of you know that I also am a cross stitcher and quilter. I love everything to do with textiles, fabric, stitching of any kind. I'm a felt stitcher. So that is kind of what this collection is based on. However, when designing it, it was really important for me that we not actually stitch on paper, because I know a lot of people are not stitchers on paper. There are a lot of great stitching dies, from Spellbinders for those who want to stitch on paper. Great stitching dies as well from like Lawn Fawn. There are others as well. So you definitely can do that with those. But for me and for, kind of for myself, I really found it important that I wanted to make sure that we weren't actually stitching on paper. And that way, for everybody who wants to use these, if you're not a stitcher, you sure can, and have some fun things. Let's see. Oh, you love the pumpkins. Thank you guys. So I am shocked. That's not, I mean, not that I didn't think it would be the most popular. That's not what I really want to say. But the pumpkin definitely got a lot of love on social media. So I went that direction with today's live. Oh, that's so awesome, Susie. Okay, we're going to flip the camera and I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of the collection. Like I said, I did a longer one in my Patreon, and I also have an edited video where I show this as well, but I wanted to show it live. That way, in case anybody has any questions, I can kind of answer them while I am showing these things. Yes, exactly. Nicholas says she doesn't cross stitch. She doesn't know anyone who does, but she wants the release because it's amazing. So this makes it so my paper crafters can create kind of those kinds of things. Plus, it doesn't have to be. That is something I love about every single one of these sets. The rainbow can be used on its own, the flowers. This is the Gathering Stitches die set. So this is the main set that everything is based on. We have our embroidery hoop, we have our hardware, we have a rainbow with a layering piece, some long flower stems, and then lots of flowers and leaves. all of the other things besides the hoop can be used on their own. They can be used for other things. You can make gift tags with them. And that is one of the things that I really loved about the release. So this was the Weekender event class project. Just an FYI, this also I did not anticipate. These sentiments are not available. They were exclusive to the Weekender event. They were part of a curated collection of sentiments. So if you're wondering where they aren't included in my collection. I'm sorry about that, and I will make sure and tell them that is something you're interested in, or you can definitely drop Spellbinders a note as well. But you can see the rainbow used here, and the spools, scissors, and needle and thread are from the add-on, which I'll show here in just a minute. But from the main gathering stitches, we have the hoop, the rainbow, and the flowers. And then I want to show some other examples in other colorways. So I made this as a just an example for that Weekender event. And this is more of what I call my muted color palette, or earth tone maybe color palette. And then in my Patreon earlier this week, we created this one. So again, very much utilizing the gathering stitches and the Needleworker toolkit, the add-on set. But then these little glimmered stitches here are from the April club kit. So if you get the clubs, or have been getting the clubs, and you have some of these, or if you want to go and grab some of them because they are available for individual purchase now, I do have a link down below that links to anything that works really well with this collection. So that's where the glimmered cross stitches come from. And then these two greetings, which are fantastic for this, are from the Better Press April 2024 club kit, which I absolutely love. All right, we're gonna move those. Love the muted colors, Rachel said. Thank you. Tammy can't wait for her to get it. Boho color palette. Yes, Shari, that's a great way of saying it. Also, since the release was here in July, I did do a couple of card examples in red, white, and blue. And I really wanted to encourage everyone to think about the rainbow seasonally. Think pinks and reds for Valentine's Day, pastels for Easter. You could do bright sunshiny colors, or kind of like desert type colors for summer. Patriotic here in the US if you wanted to. Christmas colors, fall colors. You could have Halloween rainbows, whatever. So it's really fun to play around with color here. Now these are glimmered sentiments, again from the Glimmer of the Month from April, so they work really well with this. And then this is an embossing folder, which we are going to use today. It was an April club kit as well, and you can see it just really works nicely with the collection. Now, in addition to the rainbow, because it doesn't get quite as much love, and I really need to give it more love, is the flowers. The inspiration behind this is the embroidery hoops that you may see on Pinterest or Instagram or wherever, where people have done embroidery to, in a hoop to decorate with. And I wanted to kind of mimic that. So Spellbinders designed these flower stems and flowers, and I just think they are so, so cute. Let's see. Colleen did Halloween rainbows last year. I love that. Americana rainbows. Yes, Shari, for sure. Thank you, Patricia. So next, let's talk about the add-on. And the add-on I feel like was needed for the gathering stitches. We can create our stork, embroidery scissors, needle, thread, and then a spool with the thread die that goes on it. Something to keep in mind, I haven't done, but I have mentioned this a couple places and I think it would be fun. You could wrap some embroidery floss like DMC around your spool, and I think that would be super cute as well. And this was the bonus class from the Weekender event. Yay, Susan is here. Yes, I haven't seen you in a long time, Susan. Welcome. The flowers remind you of French knots. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I did go with that rainbow theme, mostly because it matched my other card for the event. But think about doing these spools in any kind of color palette, just like we mentioned with the seasonal rainbows. And it's just a fantastic addition to anything and any of those April club kits if you have them. Let's talk about the seasonal add-ons now. So I am a fall girl at heart. This is the Faux Embroidered Pumpkin set. We have a pumpkin and a stem. Then we have our beautiful florals, some little vines and leaves, and then we do have a witch hat with the band and the buckle. So it works not only for Halloween, but fall themed cards as well. So here are a couple of cards I've created. Oh, Marcy, thank you so much. And Susan bought it yesterday. Yay! This was a card I created, again, just to show in the Weekender event, so some of these things may not be available. This does have one of my sentiments from the seasonal sentiment stamp set included in my release. And I did that on the embroidery hoop and then kind of decorated around it instead of putting the items in the hoop. So that's a fun idea as well. Then I did create this in my video that went up Wednesday morning. Here is that embossing folder with the blackout technique that we're going to do today. And that's from the April Club Kits. And then I've used it with the Faux Embroidered Pumpkins, Gathering Stitches, the Needleworker Toolkit, and a Glimmered sentiment from that April Glimmer Club Kit as well, which I love the So Thankful. I thought that worked really nice for a fall themed card. Sarah's first live, nice. Yes, Melissa, there are some of my favorites too. So I really wanted to kind of mix and match and show you guys how all of this could work together. Then we're going to move in to Christmas. We have the Faux Embroidered Spruce. It's our tree, and then we have the layering pieces for the tree, a star, and then the ornament layering pieces. And for this, first I did want to show you can create gift tags. I feel like the embroidery hoop makes the most perfect gift tag. And so that is really fun. And we are going to create a fall themed gift tag today during the live. We're going to do a card and a tag. I used one of my sentiments on the back and just decorated it up. I just love how you can totally change the colors to match your gift wrapping, and super, super fun. Need this add-on, Mila said. Nice. And then I wanted to show a card that doesn't feature the hoop. So this is the Glimmered Greetings from April. This is one of my sentiments from the stamp set. I'll show that whole stamp set here in a minute. But instead of using the hoop, I took the embroidered spruce and the spool from the Needleworker toolkit, as well as the thread and the needle, and I put the spruce kind of on top of the spool, almost imagining it like one of those trees that has a spool base. I actually have made several of those for my Christmas decor, so that's where the inspiration for that came from. Love this as a tag, Melissa said. Yes, yay! Gift tags are so much fun. Okay, and then finally, as for dies, we have the Faux Embroidered Stockings. And this also very much inspired by some of those embroidery hoops that you might see on Pinterest or wherever, where you see cute little stockings embroidered in the hoop. And I went with this beautiful pastel color combo for this card just for something different. It features the Gathering Stitches hoop. We also have the Needleworker Toolkit, stork scissors, spools, needle, and thread. But then we've layered all of the pieces to build the most adorable little candy cane with greenery and our stockings. And of course, I did make a coordinating tag. Oh, Donna, thank you so much. Love the spruce on the spool. Amy says, nice. So really, really fun and cute. And again, I just used one of my sentiments on the back of this one, and I just love how it turns out. I think these are going to be beautiful as ornaments or as gift tags, and then can be an ornament after you've given the gift. The last thing I want to show is the stamp set. And like I said, it's not really stitching specific. It's more seasonal. So these are going to work for the fall or Christmas add-ons. And they work really well. You'll have noticed those on a couple of the projects, or several of the projects, really. Patricia says, I can see my cart filling up. That's so funny. Okay, so today we are going to use gathering stitches. We need the hoop from this. We're also going to use the Needleworker toolkit dies, and we're going to use the faux embroidered pumpkins. Never fear, there will be Christmas projects coming, but I thought we would start with the faux embroidered pumpkins for the live today. In addition to that, I did pull this set. This is from one of the April kits. It's the stitching set, but it has a different size, or different shape, I should say, and size hoop. It's an oval hoop. This is the little hardware piece for it. And the reason I pulled this is because we're going to create a different kind of card. I really wanted to show mixing and matching. You may have other things in your stash that you can mix and match these products with as well. Then we're also going to use the Glimmer of the month from April. We're going to utilize some of the sentiments from here. So we're going to do a little glimmering. In fact, I'm going to get that glimmer machine warming up. And this is the 3D embossing folder from April as well that I'm going to use today. Oh, how fun. Danielle says she went to her local store and the owner made a sample and she showed with the tree in white and pink and it was stunning. Yes, it's so delicate. It's so, so delicate. Okay, so let's start by building our background for our card. Now, I know pastel is not everyone's cup of tea. So if you don't like pastel Halloween, definitely imagine it more in the traditional colors. But I wanted to create something different than what I've already done. And I personally think that the pastels are kind of fun to do. So we're going to make a tag with the traditional gathering stitches. You can kind of see I have the pieces laid out here. And we're going to make a card with the oval April stitching kit of the month. And it fills a little bit more space, and then we're going to use that embossing folder on the back. So I kind of got things ready to go here. We're going to move these out of the way and work on our background first. Hi, Larissa. So the first thing we're going to do is I have some peony cardstock. This is a light pink cardstock. I think this is Hero Arts. And we're going to put it in our embossing folder. And it measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And then we are going to grab our die cut machine. Also, I need to fix my camera, so pardon me while we do a little adjustment. And we want to follow how to build a 3D embossing folder sandwich. That's got a bad glare, so sorry. We want to use our A platform base, our embossing folder with paper, and then we want to use the D adapter plate. And that's really important because the 3D embossing folders and the regular embossing folders work a little differently. So now we're going to run this through. Tabitha loves the pastels, especially for Halloween, she said. I thought it would be fun to do something just a little different. I don't want everything to look exactly the same. You'll notice I did the pastels for Christmas, but there's going to be a lot of traditional, or what I'd say more traditional, coming as well. And look how fun. It creates the most perfect background for my collection, so I really, really love this embossing folder. So then what we want to do, I want to protect my work surface, so I like to use a glass mat for this. So we're going to have a glare for just a minute, so sorry. Oh, thank you so much, Amy. She says this is an awesome collection for me. Yes, it is. It's got me written all over it, doesn't it? What we want to do for the blackout technique is instead of using the raised side, we want to flip it over and use that debossed side. And then I like the archival ink, but you can use whatever black ink you want here. And we are going to make our background black so that just the needle and thread shows up as pink. And yes, I wanted it to be that pastel pink background. So that's why I went with that. And of course, here's like that more traditional color palette with an orange cardstock with the blackout technique. Same thing here. And I just like to make sure in the middle isn't going to matter quite so much if we have a good blackout because we're going to cover that up. But around the edges, I'm going to try my best. If it has a little bit, you know, not full coverage, I'm okay with that, but I do try. And it's messy. It's super messy. So have something handy to wipe your hands off with. Thank you, Sue. And I'm going to clean my fingers first, and then we're going to clean our glass mat. But I love how this takes our background, and I'm going to show you, I'll show you with the other one. I created one earlier, mostly because I wanted to make sure that pink was the direction I wanted to go. I'm going to just clean that and get rid of that. Move that back out of the way. Okay, so here is our background. Let's not lose any of our parts and pieces. Oh yeah, well, pretend you can't see all the black. So here's what it started out as. And then we come to this point. I just love it. It's so quick and easy. Hi, Vicki. So good to see you, my friend. So next, because I just can't leave it like that, of course not. Why would we? We're going to take some Frozen Fog Distress Mica Stain, and we're going to spritz our panel up a little bit. I like the shimmer for, well, I was going to say for Halloween, but let's be honest, I love it for everything. I used Fossilized Amber. I think I used Distress Spritz on this one. We're going to use the Distress Mica Stain for this. And we're just going to spray all over and let that dry. Yes! Crafts and True Crimes Tracy says she's so glad to catch the live. It's a nice break from the Alec Baldwin trial. I have to be honest, I have not followed that trial very much, but yes, crafting is a nice break just from reality in general, isn't it? All right, we're going to set that aside to dry for just a minute. Let me see how we're doing on heating up of the Glimmer. It may take a minute. That's why we like to start that part early. Patricia says, crafting is the only time we get to bring out our inner kid and laugh about it. Well, I definitely laugh about it because I'm messy. All right. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to take this oval background piece for the card that we're going to create. Oh, Chris, yay! Thank you. I'm so glad that you love it. And because, okay, so from my Gathering Stitches collection, obviously, do you see how that die cuts like it looks like fabric? It's not really stitchable, but it has the illusion of fabric. Well, this one from the April kit really doesn't. So here's my idea. I didn't try it, so we're going to see if it works. But I have this stitchy or sketchy lines background from Simon Says Stamp. And we're going to stamp that on this so that it kind of has like a linen look. And I picked antique linen for that linen look. Ha! Hello, Yvonne. So I'm going to stamp this first. And we'll see how it looks. You know, my philosophy here is it's just paper, so if it doesn't work out, you know, we'll do something different. It's always my philosophy. But I love it. I kind of thought I would. I just felt like the background needed a little something. I didn't want it to be super plain Jane. Just because, well, just because I'm me, really. There's really no other reason other than I'm me. Okay, I could get my blending brush out, but why? I'm just going to take my ink pad And I'm going to pull that direct to paper around the edges just a little bit. I like it. And again, that was just some antique linen. So everybody, let me know what you're doing. If you have plans for the weekend, if you're crafting, tell me all of the things. So this is the frame for that April kit of the month. I should probably grab that back out so you can see that one. And how nicely it works with all of the other components. We're going to take a little walnut stain distress ink. Best reason there is, yes! And I am going to do direct to paper on the frame as well. And pretty lightly. I don't want to completely cover it. But I did die cut this from some wood grain cardstock. So it's going to kind of pick up that wood grain. Which is what I want. And give it a little texture. And then we're going to go ahead and glue this in place. But first, let's attempt to not be super messy today. Attempt is going to be the key word for that. Oh, nice. Nicole, one of the first cards you showed had a craft background with either gold stamping or flecking. What is the gold? Susan, I will grab it. Hold on. Because I can't remember. So we're just going to put the frame down. Let me do the frame and let me add the awesome little hardware here for the top of this. And then I will grab out that card. I just love the detail that Spellbinders has in their dies. So good. Okay. Craft background with gold flecking. I don't know if it had gold. Was it this one, Susan? I don't have gold flecking. I have white on all of these. On this one, this is not craft background, but that is Fossilized Amber Distress Spritz. This is the white splatter from Spellbinders. If these aren't correct, let me know. Organizing and labeling DMC. Oh my goodness, Danielle, that is a huge project. Making table gifts for Primrose Retreat next weekend. Nice. Hello, Koi. Marcy says heading to the lake house. Nice. So I want to talk about my inspiration for this card. I used the Faux embroidered spruce in the spool. We're going to do something similar for this card. We are going to put our little witchy pumpkin on a spool. It's part of the reason I opted to use this size, because if you'll notice, our round, if we do a spool and a pumpkin, it's really going to stick pretty, whoops, it'll stick up too high. It doesn't fill the space quite as good. You can get away with it totally. But I liked that I could really fill this oval shape nicely with my pumpkin. Heidi says all the Arizona crafters are staying indoors and cutting up paper. Yes, for sure. For sure, for sure. Okay, good, Susan. I hope I answered that. If not, let me know. So we are going to take the spool then. And again, I'm just going to take my walnut stain. And I like to give my spools a little color. And we also want to give our pumpkin a little bit. I hope I choose right with this, and I'm not going to wish I would have got something else. You can also color it with markers, but I don't want to today, so we're not going to. That's kind of how things work in my world. Watercoloring a floral stamp, nice. So I'm going to grab some foam. And I want to pop, well, I need to get the layering piece for my spool too. Where do you think that is? Right there. I mean, I have stuff everywhere. So many little pieces, so little time. All right, I'm going to place, I'm not going to push it down too hard yet. I think that's where I probably should put my witch hat on, my pumpkin first, and make sure that I don't put this too high in my hoop. Now, one of the great things about this pumpkin is that it can be used as a pumpkin without a witch hat, especially if you don't want it to be Halloweenish, which I personally love. I like having options. We're going to move that down just a tad. We're also going to put our little pink layering piece on here. And then let's go ahead and put our band on. Yes, it sounds like it's hot everywhere, or in a lot of places anyway. It's the perfect time to stay in and craft, isn't it? And I really love these little layering pieces for our hat. I've said this in a couple of other places as well, but one of the things I really love about the faux embroidered pumpkin with the witch hat is it's kind of more of an elegant, if you will, Halloween rather than spooky. Especially since it doesn't have any spooky types, you know, skeletons or ghosts or anything like that. So I really like it. Now, you could totally turn it spooky. If you have some other fun little, you know, Halloween dies, that would be amazing. Oh my goodness, Rachel says Scotland has forgotten that it's supposed to be summer, and she says she had to get her woolly hat out. Oh my word. I tell you what, I kind of go for that. It's been so stinking hot. But I'm not the biggest summer girl, in case anyone knew. Floss and card combo. Needle. Oh, thank you so much, Kat. It's for the fancy witches. That's right, Shari. Just you wait. I have plans to make myself my own fancy witch hat this year. We'll see how that turns out. I'll let you guys know. Okay, I think I need some foam underneath the edges. Heidi says that she's on her way to see Rachel in Scotland, because I think Heidi is over the heat, if I'm not mistaken. Susan wants to be there too. Oh, Donna's so glad I'm doing the pumpkin. Thank you, Donna. Okay, look how cute. Oh my word, I love it so much. Okay, so here is kind of our base for this. I need to move some stuff and look for things. Hold on. Because it seems that I've made a little bit of a mess. I accidentally spilled stuff earlier. You know, such is life. Right before I went live, I had everything all organized and then I spilled it. Is the quilted witch hatter I want to make? Yes, me too. Shari, we have to talk later. We might need to encourage each other. So this little sprig is actually from that April club, but I liked it, and I like it kind of with all of the little pieces here from our faux embroidered pumpkin. Here it is. So we're going to use our florals and our leaves and our little sprigs from that. And again, I did stick to very much the pastels. And let's see how it looks on our background, shall we? Oh, I'm loving it. This was die cut from some Champagne Simon Says Stamp matte cardstock. And I'm just going to go ahead and tuck it into place right here at the base. We want, because it's really top heavy with the pumpkin on top, we want to kind of help balance it out. And I think some florals and things will work there. It's been hot in Germany and raining a lot. Oh my gosh, not a summer girl either. We just had some rain now, so it's cool for a few hours. I wish. Oh, Gloria says she's waiting for the pumpkins to arrive, so she's glad I'm using this. Great. Oh, you know what? I turned on my Glimmer, and then I forgot to Glimmer, so it turned off. Hold on. Let's turn it back on. And then let's take a quick peek at what I wanted to use. We have So Thankful Stitched with Love, Happy Stitching. That's what the one I wanted to use, by the way. So let's pull that off, and our banner. Oh, good grief. See how that happens? I have everything organized, and then I'm just a disaster mess waiting to happen. Oh, well. Quilted witch hat, yes. Oh, Larissa, thank you. All right, so I do want to create that little base of kind of flowers for this for the pumpkin to be sitting on. And I like to pop mine up with a little foam. And these are all going to be in those pastel colors as well. So light pinks, light yellows, and some lavender. I did die cut these orange, but it doesn't go, in my opinion. So we're going to just save those. Let's just say I have a lot of little flowers all over. And we're just going to build out this beautiful little floral design here. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. Oops, trying to decide how many I want to add. What banner die is that? It is the April 2024 Glimmer of the Month, and it is available for purchase now. It's called, forgive me, I cannot remember, but I'm going to go look. Hold on. I have it pulled up because I had a feeling that I would forget. It is called, well, shoot. Let me scroll back here really quick. It is the So Amazing. I knew I should remember it. It's called So Amazing. And it comes with all of these. It's all of these glimmers. So borders, if in the samples I showed at the beginning of the video, I used a lot of these, and I've used all of these as well. But the banner comes with it, which is fantastic. I actually think we're going to tuck that down here. Let's not put that down really hard yet. Let's decide. Did I not die cut any light orange? Doesn't appear that I did. Well, we're going to go with it. You can never have enough little flowers, Nicola said. Absolutely. Oh, Donna says her grandkids live in Germany. They are far away, aren't they, Donna? All right. So we definitely needed some down near the base. And then I'm going to start tucking. Oh, I need to add my other little flower first. Hold on. Forgetting everything I'm doing. There we go. Now, to break up the florals, we definitely need to add in some greenery. You have the caboodle, awesome. And I'm just going to start going in and tucking in different leaves and vines, all of that good stuff. It's a lot of little fussy bits, but you guys know me. I'm here for all of the little fussy bits. They're my favorite. Tabitha said that she got the Glimmer and she showed some restraint and didn't get the embossing folder, but now it's hanging out in her cart for the next time. I do that too. I'm like, I always tell myself, okay, well, you don't need that. You're good. And then you see something and you're like, and I was wrong again. Wrong again, wrong again. It's the story of my life. Now, I think that the flowers, as cute as they are, and I've talked about this in a couple of other places as well, but I definitely want to mention it here, they need flower centers. And the die, this die set doesn't, but the main die set, the Gathering Stitches set, does die cut some little flower centers. That's great and all, but we are totally using some of my favorite little Spellbinders gems because I just don't have time to track down all of those little bits and bobs. I don't know about you guys, but they're just too small. I love it, and I love that if you want to use them, but I generally will just use gems. Really decorating this up is my favorite thing. I love all of the little bits and bobs. I'm sure no one is surprised by this at all. You guys know me. Whoops. And that I have to have all of the fun little doodads. Wrong on both counts. Yeah, they have a lot of great things. Oh my gosh, I love the little vines. I don't know why, but these little vines are one of my favorite things. And you can use them with any of the other sets as well, that just to kind of tuck into greenery and whatnot. I think they're perfect for that. Totally got glue on that piece. Darn it. All right, we about have our greenery. A glittery bat would be so cute. Oh my gosh, Shari, that would be adorable. Thank you, Tracy. I'm glad you like it. I was super, super excited for the release. It's been hard not to show all of the things. So now that I can, we're probably going to have needlework overload, but out of paper. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And we're going to take, these are the peach blush color, and I thought they were perfect. They're one of my favorites. They work on a lot of things. We're going to just go in and we're going to start embellishing our little florals. Oh, my glimmer's warmed up. Okay, we may have to come back to this so that it doesn't shut off again. Okay, whoops. Let's glimmer our greeting real fast like. Ugh. Okay, why is the cord stuck on something? Hold on, everyone. Oh no, I see what it's stuck on. There we go. I didn't want it to unplug and then we'd have to wait for it to heat up again. Oh, it's heating up now. That's fantastic. Hold on. All right, Glimmer, here we come. We are going to pop our sentiment here. I've got a little bit of the aura colored foil. Oh my gosh, Kimberly, I'm totally using that. She said I should have known not to watch when my willpower battery is low. Okay, you win the day. Shari said something funny this morning that totally made me laugh that was winning, but willpower battery. That is hilarious. Thank you. Hello, Rochelle. Hi, Wilma. Yeah, Wilma just reminded me too. Thank you. You reminded me right at the time I remembered. Okay, let's get that going. All right, does anyone have any questions here while that's warming up? That way I don't get doing something else and forget to run that through. Anyone have any questions about this or anything else that I can answer? Let me know. This shouldn't take too terrible long, but you know, with glimmering, it is what it is. I do love the glimmer a lot, and I love these sentiments because they're very stitching related, so I think they work really, really well. Heather says that's funny. Oh, I try. I may have to turn my fan on. It is so hot in here. I hate having the fan on because the glare does show, and sometimes it does move things, but it's hot. Even with my air conditioning on, it's hot. Let me see. I'm going to scroll back and look. I'm seeing, I feel a black Halloween tree with those dies as ornaments in my future. Yes, Susan, for sure. I love that. This is one of my favorites so far. Nikki said, thank you, Nikki. Hi, Cheryl. All right, I am just going to roll this through off camera instead of moving things around, just because we're only glimmering really one thing. I'm not doing a ton of glimmering today. It's not really a glimmer heavy video, but I did want to mention these sentiments because I love them so much. So I did happy stitching. And if this one did overfoil a little bit, not terrible, but a bit, I always like to just take a paintbrush, it's dry, and that's going to remove, like in some of the letters, we had that overfoiling and it just removed it. Perfect. All right, we are going to move our glimmer back out of the way. Will you be creating samples with your Mary mug? I sure am, Rachel. That will be coming. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, yes, Wilma, I will be making so many things with this. Is there anything that is not part of the bundle? Oh, I do not know. I don't think so. I will have to go double check that. Let me run this through the die cutting machine and then I will check the bundle question. But I'm going to try not to dump everything on the floor here. No promises. Which doesn't matter to you guys, but Odin is looking scared like things might be coming down. And yes, there are going to be a lot of videos with this release. Absolutely. All right. Oh, good. A Creative Muse did some with this as well. I'll have to see. Is the Mary mug new? No, it's last year's collection, but it is still available. Okay. So there is our little banner that says Happy Stitching. And let's get this one finished up so that we can make a tag. I am going to have to turn the fan on, I'm sorry. Or I'm going to get so hot that it won't be cute at all. Oh, how fun! Lots of you are seeing other videos with other creators doing that. Yes, Rachel wants to know if I will be creating samples with the Mary mug with this. I absolutely am. Yes, yes. I think we can definitely make some cute things happen there. Gonna put a little foam on that banner. And we are just going to tuck that kind of down here, like so. Oh, perfect. I love the little banner on here. However, let's get it somewhat centered. It still doesn't feel very, there we go. Okay, the stork scissors are one of my absolute favorite things from the release. The detail on them is incredible. A little tip for assembly, and I want to show you the die first because I do think it can be slightly confusing. One of the dies has way more detail plus that little eye in it, and that one goes on top. So what you'll do with your two pieces, take the piece that doesn't have the detail and lay it on the bottom. And then where the eye is for the little stork, I put a little bead of glue. Then you're going to take your layering piece for that, pop it right over the top. Whoops. That's where they line up. Just like so. And that is how I attach all of my little embroidery scissors together. Super easy and really, really cute. I love die cutting them from gold cardstock, silver cardstock. I use champagne today. I definitely like it because I think they look like actual scissors that way, like little antique embroidery snips. And then we're just going to put a little glue and we're going to pop that right there. Well, in theory that was going to work real good. There we go. Let's take it off of the background for a minute. Then we also have our needle and thread. This is also from the Needleworker toolkit. And we're going to pop out that with a little piercing tool. What I love, you can do this a lot of different ways. You can take the little thread piece through the eye of the needle, like with that little short end, depending on how you want it to go on your card. Or you can take the, whoopsie doodle, the longer end, like so, or let me do this. Sometimes I like to do it kind of like that. However you want to do it. Let's see if it'll focus. And then I like to kind of look at it and then we'll put some glue on it and see how we want to attach. I kind of think I just want it like that up here. Susie says she actually has a pair of stork scissors. Yay! Sarah says, what is it about scissors? I want every pair I see. I don't know, but I am the same way. The stork scissors remind me of the scissors my mother and grandmother had. Yes, Kat, that was definitely the idea behind it when we were designing them. I wanted them to look kind of like an antique pair. Hi, Erica. Thank you so much. Luna, that's hilarious. Luna says, speaking of scissors, she once ran with a pair of scissors because she's a rebel like that. That's funny. Okay, so let's go back to adding the rest of our little gems here, and then we'll pop this on our card and make a tag. What I love about the gems from Spellbinders is the fact that they are tiny. I am a huge tiny gem person. Now there's several sizes on here. I think there's 4 different sizes, but there's lots of these little tiny ones, and really all but the biggest one are my favorite. And the big ones come in handy too. They're just, you know, my least used. I love these little tiny ones. They're my absolute favorite. The tiny and the medium. Look how cute those little gems are on there. Isn't that fun? All right, let's set those aside for a minute and look at our background, which I absolutely love. So what I love now is that we have that reinforcement of the needle and thread in the background, plus it's kind of that, you know, blackout with the pink, which is so pretty. And I am going to go ahead and pop this up. Foam tape for the win, as always. And this is some foam from Simon Says Stamp that I just love. Well, let's get it on the back. How about that, Nicole? What do we say? The last thing I would need to do here is glue this to a white card base. I'm not going to during the video today since I want to move on to the tag, but I will do that when we're done to finish it off. But there is our card in the pastel Halloween colors. Oh, thank you. Sarah says the sparkle and shine bring it to life. And I love how the gems and then the, you know, the matte champagne cardstock of the little leaf and the buckle and the foiling, they all kind of ties it all together. Okay, we are now going to make a tag with my Gathering Stitches embroidery hoop. And I'm going to show you how I put that together in real time. So the hoop die cuts, it's a solid piece, meaning you're going to need to die cut it twice from 2 different colors of cardstock. So I've got some speckled eggshell from Lawn Fawn and then a wood grain for the actual hoop part. With that, that means that if you want it to be a tag, it's really going to need something on the back. Plus you want to cover up the texture that the hoop die cuts when you're doing that. Tags, tags, and more tags, Donna said. Yes. Oh, thank you guys so much. You're so nice. Thank you. Thank you, Gloria. So what I like to do is we're going to take the center piece first. Well, actually, we're going to take this piece first. What you need is to find a circle set from your stash to use for the back of your tag. That's going to make it nice and clean. And what I had in my stash that works are the OG Lawn Fawn Circle Stackables. Had these forever. The second largest, if you have them too, works great. If you have other circle die sets, see what you have, see what works. I'm not saying go out and get this one exactly, but if you have this one, it's going to be perfect for this. So then what I like to do is we're going to take my stamp set, and I'm going to use the Harvest of Thanks. And I really want to use my acrylic block because I'm going to be lazy here. And let me grab my ink. I forgot, of course. All right. Koi says this group is so much fun. They are amazing. This group is the best. Oh, Tabitha makes her mom Nichol Spohr tags every year. Tabitha, I love that. Your mom is the sweetest. This is some ballet slippers, Lawn Fawn ink, and I'm just going to stamp the back of my tag. Because we have to have it be pink, it has to match because we're doing pastel for this too. All right. Now that we have that, I do sometimes like to keep both the original circle from die cutting and then the second one. It builds up your frame just a little bit. It's a great way to use it. And I'm just going to run my glue around this brown frame. I noticed I was going to ink this and I forgot. We'll do it in a minute. And we're just going to glue that down like so. And we're also going to take our ink pad and just give this a little distressing. Shari says the largest of the stitched stackables should be the same size as well, which is good to know. And I knew Shari would have the answers for all things Lawn Fawn. Thank you, Miss Shari. So if you have either of those sets, they would be fantastic for this. Okay, very lightly I added that ink. I don't want to go overboard. Next, we're going to take the center piece and we're going to, actually we're not going to take the center piece, I so lied. I like to stamp it first because you get a good impression, but it can be hard to know which way is up. So I'm just putting a little bit of tape here so that when I flip this over, I know that that is straight up and down, which will matter in a minute. It doesn't really matter yet, I suppose. And then we're going to take the hardware piece for this. Should have probably glued this first. Do I even know what I'm doing today? Goodness, Nicole. I do, I promise. First, we're going to pick this up. Make sure it fits back here. This is why we have to have the tape, because I want it to be straight up and down. Oh gosh. Okay. Then I'm going to glue this just like that. Ta-da! And then I'm going to go in and put some glue down, and we're going to put our fabric in our hoop. Oh, 3.5 in diameter, Shari said. Thanks, Shari. I don't know the sizes at all. I just know which ones work. Don't come to here for the technical stuff. Okay, so now it's straight up and down. Perfect. And there is our sweet little hoop. Now we're going to build very similar to our card, but we're not going to use the spool as a base. We're just going to sit our pumpkin with the witch hat in this embroidery hoop. I'm going to go around the... Oh, that about was bad. We're going to go around our pumpkin again with a little bit of the walnut stain. If that had fallen on my tag, you guys might have heard a bad word. Maybe. Colleen makes her sister's first grade class Halloween and Christmas tags every year. Oh, I love that. Sarah says Tabitha's mom is the sweetest. Absolutely. I love that. Spellbinders Essential Circles has one that works. The Creative Muse used it today and worked awesome. Perfect. I don't think I have that set. I think when I originally did my sample here a couple months or so ago, I noticed I didn't have that set, and so I just used what I had. But that's so good to know. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to do basically the same design as my card for this tag, minus the spool. So you'll notice a lot of the elements are going to be the same. I'm just going to kind of speed through assembly. Although, good grief, I'm making the biggest gluey mess that there ever was. Oh, live crafting is just the most delightful sometimes. A cat says a countdown for Halloween sounds awesome. I like that idea. That would be really fun. Got our little buckle. Okay. So what we want to do is, I always like to start with the biggest element, which in this case is our adorable pumpkin, and I'm going to pop it up. I know that isn't exactly, I mean, if this was embroidered, but we're pretending it's paper. No actual stitching required, remember? That's the goal with these projects. No actual stitching required. Everyone can do it. Colleen says it's an excuse for her to have some crafty fun to make those countdowns. I love it. And Kimberly made coworkers 12 tags of Christmas, a new tag on their desk each morning. Oh my gosh, I want to be your coworker. That is amazing, Kimberly. How fun would it be to come to work and have a new Christmas tag each day? I love that. So we're just going to get that centered-ish. And again, I want to tuck it into a little bed of flowers because we need the flowers for all of the things, right? What glue do you use, Peg said? I am using the My Sweet Petunia glue press. I've been using it for several months now, and I highly, highly recommend it. I was on the fence about it. I didn't really know that I wanted to... I don't know why I was so resistant. My friend Lori tried to tell me that I needed it, and I was like, yeah, you know. So wrong. I, of course, needed it. It's so good. And then I got it and it sat in the box for probably a month and a half, which was also dumb. I'm just giving you guys the real Nichol is not always so smart. I don't know why I was resistant. I really don't. I love that the flower and leaf dies die cut so many because it really allows you to not have to die cut a zillion times. You can just die cut a few, or die cut each color once, I guess is what I want to say, and then it's very easy to use them on a couple of projects. And you have lots of leaves, lots of flowers, all that good stuff. All right. And now, of course, we've got to get our little vines and all that in. The glue press looked again every Friday that there's a live. Yes, I do love the glue press. Love it, love it. All right. Let's find, the problem here is I spilled everything earlier, so who knows where everything is. It went flying. Oh, I used 3 of them on that. I may have to die cut another one. We'll do that in a minute. And we want to add in lots of greenery, just like before. A Halloween tag series would be great. That would be fun. I like that idea. I want the pumpkin to look like it's sitting in this bed of greenery. So again, just kind of going to go in, add in all of this. Have lots to use, so we'll use up what we can. And I'm going to have to die cut another vine, I think. Oh my gosh. I'm making a mess. I'm glad you guys can't see behind the curtain here. Ha! There we go. All right, let's move that. I don't want that, but I do want to add, we may have to die cut a couple of things actually. Now that I'm looking at this and looking at it closer. Let's hold off on that. Also, I did die cut one of these little branches from that stitching die of the month that I used for the first card, because I liked the addition of something a little bit longer. We're going to do as much gluing as possible, and then I'm going to die cut a couple more vines. Think the spool as the base is adorable. Thank you. There is that. Okay. Real quick. Let me find my vine and my leaves. I'm just going to run my green cardstock through real fast, because I see that I need some for the hat for sure. I always try to anticipate how many I'm going to need, but you never know till you actually start putting it together. Okay. Super cute. Definitely need to start using my glue press. You will love it. I'm super resistant to change. It's my little joke here. I always am like, nah, I don't need that. I don't need that. And then I get it and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Every time too. You would think I'd learn. But apparently I'm a slow learner, I don't know. Another vote for Halloween tag series. Okay. Good to know. I love making tags. I don't know what it is about tag making, but I just love it. That is not sticking out as tall as I would like it to. Let's try that again. There we go. There we go. I like that a lot better. Also, as always, I like to talk to myself while I'm crafting. Yes, Luna, I mentioned that earlier. Definitely, I would love to see the spools wrapped with thread. I think that would be adorable. For sure. And I'm all about the greenery. I think it balances everything so beautifully. There we go. Okay, now this is a tag, but I still thought I would probably add in some little things. We'll see if I still think that that's cute or not. If you want some things kind of hanging off, you can. I don't know. I may not. I die cut them, but now that I look at it, I'm not so sure. I do have my needle and thread, which I do like adding. And we're definitely going to add that. I need to buy a glue press. I dislike glue because I get it all over everything. Same. But this really works good. I will say that. But I do have glue basically everywhere on me. I'm going to have to wash my hands for sure. Okay, I know some of this might get covered, but I was thinking that we would do this little lavender ribbon up here at the top. So I wanted to show this. This is a product that I have for making bows. I did link it down in the description below. This is some ribbon from Spellbinders. And I'm going to just make the 1.5 size bow. And I'm going to leave maybe a couple inch tail, but you wrap it, and this is for any size. Like this will make a 4.5 inch. I also have the 3.5 and 2.5. 2.5 is the one I use the most for like probably most other crafty things I do. 1.5 is probably what I use the most for paper crafting, like with tags. But what you do is you wrap it around and then you kind of do a figure 8. And I'm just going to do a single bow, so I've wrapped it around this one, come up, over, and around. And I cut way more ribbon than what I need. You're going to come up through the 2 and down. Like that. And then you're going to take your end through that little loop there and pull. And what happens is you have the most perfect bow every single time. Isn't this color beautiful? I almost did pink, and then I saw this one, and I don't even know if I've ever used it. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is just the most beautiful color. I think it looks great. So we're going to use it. And I think I can probably make another one from how much I cut there. So I like to put a little ribbon kind of up here at the top. And what I do is let's actually put our twine in first. So the reason I love this embroidery hoop for a tag is we can thread, I'm just going to use this Lawn Fawn Lawn Trimmings twine. cut a little length of it, you thread it through and knot it. So we have our hanger to make it the tag. And then we can just decorate the top here with a little glue and our little bow, like so. And then I use my tweezers to hold that in place while our glue is drying. Bookmark for later. Oh, sorry. We'll FaceTime later. I promise you, once you've done it, once you get it, you're golden. It is so fantastic. Okay, just like we did for the card, we need to make it pop, because I think up until this point, it's so cute, right? The tag is cute, but we need gems. We for sure need to finish our flower centers. Because I think that ties it all together. Colleen says it's her goal to master the bow tool. You've got it. And the great thing, if you don't get it right the first time, you can slide it off and you can untie it and start over. That's the best thing. I'll do one again here in a minute. We'll see if we can get another little bow out of it, that leftover ribbon. See, look at how cute those gems just finish off the tag. Isn't that so pretty? Now, if you want to, I thought about it, but I don't know that I love the idea now. You could have like little spool on the side if you want, or two. I always have plenty of little die cut pieces. I just think it's probably too much. You could put little scissors. If this was a little higher or something, the scissors might be cute. I'm not going to use them, I don't think. But I'm going to leave it like that. I think it looks so pretty just like that. And then you have the little Harvest of Thanks on the back. That's that soft pastel that matches. And we're just going to let that sit and dry for a minute. The gems make it dance. Yes, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to do another bow really quick. And I don't have a ton of ribbon, so I definitely think we need to do the 1.5. I might be able to do a 2.5. Let's try. We'll make a little bit bigger one. Yeah, we can. Okay. I hold it with my left hand like this. And you're going to wrap around, come up and over like a figure 8, come back. You're going to go through the middle like so, and with this end, you're going to go through that loop in the center. I did not have a lot left. And you want to pull tight. I like to pull it to the back. I usually pull this one back to the back as well. And while it's still on the tool, I manipulate it, and then you slide it off. Yeah, I really cut way too much ribbon for today. But so you can see the difference in the size. That's 1.5 and that's 2.5. Shari, no, you can do it. I promise you can do it. Okay, you guys, that is today's projects. We have a card and matching gift tag using my Nichole's Needlework collection, as well as some of the April 2024 Spellbinders Club Kit products. I hope you guys loved today's project. Thank you guys for all the sweet comments on my collection. I'm super excited. It's kind of like, you know, showing your baby and you hope that it's cute. Yes, Healthy Habits. The stitching set is the best of both worlds for sure. Yes, absolutely, Susie. If you use the oval shape, which with the oval, you wouldn't need to put anything on the back because it does have a solid piece, you could add all of those extra things if you wanted to do oval tags. That's a great point. Beatrice can't wait for her add-ons. Perfect. Okay, did I miss anybody's questions while I was putting all of the things on there? Let me know. Oh, thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you, Susan. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I hope you get to do something fun and crafty. And I will see you guys all here next week. Replay crew, I just want to say thank you guys for watching the replay. If you have any questions, drop them down into the description below. I didn't want to say anything at the beginning of the video, but I got an email from a viewer, a friend of ours this morning, and she said that one of my viewers, she's here a lot, passed away over the weekend. And so I just want to wish everyone, friends and family of Terry, I just want you to know that I'm thinking of you, and I'm really sad about it. She was supposed to be in my class here in August in Phoenix. So I just want to tell you I'm thinking about you if you were Terry's friend. And to just thank Sandy for letting me know because I hadn't heard yet. Sorry to end on a heavy note. I didn't want to start on a heavy note. Wishing everyone a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, everyone. The supplies used in today's video are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here is another project that you might be interested in. Please remember to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to never miss a new live video. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll catch you next time.